Hey guys, Zelonius here. Welcome back to another video on the channel. This video today is going to be a look at FC26. Basically 2 months in, I think it's 2 months tomorrow that the game went live. A mini review of the game so far, talking about how, in my opinion, the game has gone downhill since launch, which should never really happen to a video game. I'll talk about some of the positives from the game and just give my general advice and opinions about what I think you should be doing on this game right now, and just my opinions on the game and where it is right now. As always, appreciate you guys tuning in. Let me know if there's any thoughts you've got on the video or the game in general. Are you still playing the game and really like it? I'm always intrigued as to what you guys think. As always, keep it spicy. Let's get into the video.
Are you sick to death of getting out-teamed on FC26? Do you want that God Squad you've always been dreaming of? Check out IGGM.com today. The best and most reliable place to get coins for your ultimate team. Use the link in the description and code ZEL at checkout for a huge 8% discount. Check out IGGM.com today.
So for anyone who's new to the channel or watching me for the first time, I'm Zelonius. I'm a top end Rivals player, former pro player. I hit 15-0 this weekend in champs. I've hit 13-14 most weekends, so I'm a good player who gets good records, not pro level anymore, but was a pro player. So that is where my perspective is coming from. And anyone who's watched my channel since the start of this year will know that for the most part, I quite like this game. Whilst I'm talking, we're going to go by a French league manager for, what do you call it, my boy Graham Potter here. I don't know if that, will that put Dan Burn on one though? Oh no, damn it, we need the Premier League for Dan Burn. Might have to do something to fix Amiga's chemistry. We'll look into that. But yeah, my opinion of the game from the start was fairly high. I quite liked this game. I thought it was a pretty good game in general, and I had a lot of good positive things to say about the game. Since then, obviously, my opinion's changed a bit from the title of this video. Anyone who's been watching my recent videos, I'm not making this video because I'm not good at the game. I hit 15-0 this weekend. Same team as this, just Saliba for Dan Burn. I've bought Dan Burn. I'm going to try him out. His card looks absolutely insane, by the way. For anyone who's not, I'm interested to see him. My perspective's not from moaning about the game because I can't play well on it. I just think that from launch, gameplay-wise, the game has gone really downhill. I think that the game at launch had issues. I think kickoff was a major thing that they needed to fix, and it's still an issue, but it's not that big a deal anymore. I can deal with how kickoffs are right now. I still think short corners are pretty crazy. And I think manual, and I say that very clearly, manual defending needed a slight buff. But for me, it was the best game we've had in years since launch. And yeah, I don't think it was that close either. I really, really liked the game at launch and thought EA had done a pretty good job. Since then, the game's really started to go downhill gameplay-wise, in my opinion. I feel like the servers have got worse. I feel like Champs is very server-reliant. If you don't have good gameplay, then I feel like Champs is made a lot harder. I feel like the AI defending's been buffed a few times, it seems now, to the point that the AI is just absolutely ridiculous. And I feel like you're absolutely forced and tunneled down a meta that if you don't spam the through balls, don't defend in a certain way, you were going to get punished. It's no surprise that the first weekend that I really tried to just force the through balls, play the meta to a T, I hit 15 on my account. I'd hit 15 a couple times early on other people's account. I do play on people's accounts on weekend league sometimes, but for me, I don't want to be forced to play in a certain way, especially if it's a way that I think is a bit stupid. But that is the world we're living in. And unfortunately, it's a very effective way of playing on this game. And yeah, it gets results. So I think gameplay-wise, that is a major area that I think the game's definitely got worse. I do think there's some pretty good stuff. I think keepers, for the most part, are reasonable in the game. I think skill moves are balanced. I think the left stick dribbling's good. I think long shots are fairly balanced and pretty good. I do think normal long shots and power shots can maybe have a slight buff. So I think there is some good stuff to work with. But then I think there's some stuff that's clearly a major issue. Evolutions, I think they were bad when the game came out. I feel like They've improved quite drastically, and I think Evolutions are now in a fairly good place where you get some really, really good cards for cheap, but they're not like completely overtaking the game. That would be my opinion on that. If you look at my team, you could have more Evolutions if you'd done them, but I've got a striker who's evoed, and my right back's going to be an Evo. That's pretty good. And I like the Evos where you get like these little masks and stuff on cards. I think that's pretty good and something that should be in the game. I like them doing little stuff like that. Promos, I always buy cards and they go down in price. It's annoying, man. I bought it for like 310 earlier, thinking this card's crazy. I could have got for 266. Oh well. Always buy cards and then they drop price. But for me, I think the promos have been alright. Again, not much creativity. There've been a few different stuff. I like this like surprise man of the match cards that they've been doing. I think that's pretty good. But I'd like a bit more creativity. I think the rewards for Gauntlet and stuff have been a bit naff. I think the game modes on this year's game are pretty good. I just think the rewards are really bad. The rewards for champs, for how sway it is awful. I mean, the season passes have been shocking. I think the way you get season pass rewards has been shocking. It should not be a case of if you play. What have I got here? Great. It should not be a case of if you play the game every day, like I do, you don't complete a season. I didn't get the final reward last season. Is the video game crashing now as I'm doing a video? Fantastic. Reload. Nice one here. You shouldn't have to jump through hoops and go and do manager and clubs objectives. It's just stupid. And I think the season stuff and passes is a good idea, but needs a major rework. I think that the price of cards is ridiculous. At the lower end, you can get some very good cards for very cheap, which is good. But I would rather those cards cost a bit more and the higher end cards come down in price to make it realistic to get some of them. If I'm looking at Mbappe, let me look at his price online. Let's have a look. Gold Mbappe is 1.7 million. Ousmane Dembele, 725k. That's reasonable, to be fair. You could argue that's okay. But my problem I'm seeing is that so many cards are just very hard to ever afford for a lot of people. So we're kind of stuck in this position where, yeah, it's a bit of a mess, in my opinion. For me, as of now, I think that the game is in a worse state than launch. I think it's pretty frustrating at times, especially when the gameplay is bad and the servers are bad. But I don't think the game's beyond save, and I'm interested in what they do with Black Friday. Black Friday, I'm guessing, will be like a Thunderstruck promo. We'll probably move to our first lot of 2 playstyle pluses. That's normally a decent jump in the power curve. It's scary times, by the way. We're getting to the point soon where we're probably going to be able to see Evos of Claudia Pinner. That's going to be a very scary time. I'm interested to see. Because she doesn't have any stats that look like, yeah, you're just not going to be able to Evo her. She's not quick. She only has 3 positions. She has 7 playstyles. You might not be able to get a playstyle plus. If you can start to upgrade that card, she's just going to be stupid. Yeah, I'm interested to know your thoughts on the game. Do you think the game's broken right now? Are you still playing it? Are you enjoying it as much? Let me know your thoughts. Keep it spicy. I'd love to see you guys in the next one. Peace.